Hey, Eric Sider here. Just wanted to give a little rundown of what I got going on today. We got some tomatoes to pot up. They're not quite ready to go in the bed. We had some that were big enough, so put those in. And also, gonna do a little different method of preparing the bed today, so you guys can check that out. Also got some interestingly diverse potting mix from the local Lowe's, so that was unexpected. We'll see how it actually works in reality. So let's see what's going on. Alright, so let's go check out this potting mix that we had. It's made in a little south of here in Southern California. I've never used this before. This is not at all sponsored. This is just what I found. Kellogg's Organics, raised bed and potting mix. And the interesting part is the ingredients. So check what we got going on here. So recycled forest products, dehydrated poultry manure, composted poultry manure, hydrolyzed feather meal, peat moss, kelp meal, worm castings, and bat guano. So that's a good assortment of some pretty high quality nitrogen and other minerals. So this is what it looks like. It's a little on the chunky side, and it definitely has a pretty strong manure smell. I'd almost say it's kind of smells like not quite finished compost, so hopefully that's not going to cause any problems. These are all our tomato seedlings. Now ideally they'd be probably twice that tall before they go in the bed, so they definitely need to get out of these flats because they're struggling a bit. So we're going to see what we can do to pot them up. I got a bunch of these fabric pots. These are, the brand is Root Pouch, so it's like a combination of organic cotton and polyethylene. So it's not going to biodegrade 100%, but you can put them right in the ground if you want, or you can usually peel them off pretty well. But the fabric gives it a good root development. And what else? Yeah, so let's check out the bed where the tomatoes are going to go. So this was done yesterday. So we got 3 different types of cherry tomatoes in there, and they are on 18-inch spacing via the biointensive. Now that goes all the way up to 24-inch spacing if you got full-size heirloom tomatoes. You can see that's pretty light and fluffy. And then down here, it's 5 o'clock now, so we're getting some shade, which is probably not a bad thing. That afternoon sun's pretty harsh. So we still got this half to do, and I'm going to show you a new method I'm going to try for this one for preparing the bed. All right, let's get into it. All right, so we have a little different method we're going to do to prepare this one. If you saw the kale planting video, I was using this tool, just happened to be right next to the bed to kind of mix up the soil. But since this is going to be tomatoes, they're a bit heavier feeder than the kale, so we're going to do a little top dressing with some of the worm castings. And I've already prepared this bed with the garden fork to loosen it up. It's pretty dry and compacted, so we're going to do a nice little scattering of worm castings. And then we're going to use this guy to mix it all up. So this is a Power Planter Garden Auger. It's a US company. I actually did a review video of this a while back. I'll link to that. Unfortunately, I was living in an apartment at the time, so I couldn't do that practical of a demonstration. So I had to go out and find some land But anyway, it's still pretty informative video. We'll probably do another one with this property, but this is a pretty good little tool for drilling holes and mixing soil and amendments. Let's go down to lower speed. All right, now there's still some chunks which will probably you'd break up with your hands, but it does do a nice job of turning the soil and mixing those amendments in. All right, so we're gonna wet this down, add the mulch, and it'll be ready to go. All right, so we're gonna pot up these tomatoes because they need to come out of these flats, and we have I got a bunch of these fabric pots from Root Pouch. Now these, I thought I had some of the smaller ones. They're a half pint. They're about 2 by 2 inches in diameter and about 5 inches tall, which is really good for continuing on some tomatoes that are going to go in the ground. But these ones are a quart, and they're just too much volume for what I need to do, which means I'd be just wasting a ton of potting mix. So, but this is what I have, so we're going to use it. They're still better than plastic because they allow the root structure to become much more dense, and they don't spiral around. So I just folded down the tops twice, and more or less it's kind of the equivalent of a 4-inch plastic pot. So that's what we're going to work with. So we got this holds about 35, and it's a good container. I can just water in the bottom, and that's what we're going to do. So just need a little bit down there, and a lot of these have 2 or 3 tomato plants growing, so what I'm going to do is just wait till they're a little more established, and then I will take out the underperforming ones and leave the best one left. And as I mentioned before, these are they're considered biodegradable about 15 to 18 months buried in the ground, but they are half cotton and half polyethylene, so you know, if you're not crazy about adding more plastic to the ground, then you can easily delicately try to peel them off if you want to try to reuse them or cut them open. All right, so we're almost out of daylight here, and we're nearly finished up anyway. But one other thing I wanted to mention is because they're fabric pots, they wick the moisture up, so you can water from the bottom, and that works really well. All right, so that's pretty much it for the day. Next thing, I think we got this bed that's got way more lemongrass than anyone uses here, so we're gonna pull out most of that, probably keep one big clump in a pot, and then we got some lemongrass to separate. We might show you that. Otherwise, all right. I hope you're enjoying these and enjoying the progress, and we'll see you next time.